Hey everybody, welcome back to my video. So this video I'm going to be focusing on how I turn my Lola Shoetique Ride to Dawn in black thigh-high boots into Stuart Weitzman's Lowland thigh-high boots. And for those of you who are curious, like why would she just not buy the Stuart Weitzman's? Well, link in my description below to my other video where I talked about the Lola Shoetique boots. The Lowland boots are $1,000 without tax, and the Lola Shoetique boots are actually $80, so I save a lot of money this way. But when I got my Lola Shoetique boots, they were too large, so this is going to be a DIY video to show people out there how to make their boots more narrow if they do have skinny calves, and if you want to make your own Stuart Weitzman so you don't want to spend $1,000, this video would definitely help you out. So the materials that you're going to need for these boots to make these boots into Stuart Weitzman's are, of course, the Lola Shoetique boots Ride to Dawn in black. And if they fit you, go ahead, just use those. But if they don't fit you because you have skinny calves, the other things that you're going to need are these little clips over here that I have in my hand. It's just those clips that you put on the paper, pins, and a sewing machine. And obviously you could probably do this with fabric glue, but I doubt that the stitch or the glue is going to last as long as it would if you were to sew it. So if you don't know how to sew, ask a friend, ask a family member, ask your grandma if she did sew, if they know how to sew, and if they could possibly do this for you, because it's actually super easy. So what I did first of all was I got my boots and I tried to measure exactly where I wanted how narrow I wanted the boot to be. So taking my pins, I would pin them down along my leg from the bottom to top, or top to bottom, doesn't matter, by pinching the side of the boot and then afterwards putting these paper clips on the shoe. After I do it to one boot, I don't need to do it to the other because I'm just going to use the measurements from one boot and then put that on the other. So after I put the paper clips down the shoe, I take the shoe off, and afterwards I take some pins and I pretty much go along where those clips were, and I pin the needles to make a sort of line along the side of the boot to show how narrow I want the boot. And afterwards, I pin in the needles. I turn the shoe inside out by taking the top part of the boot and putting it through the zipper. And I'll notice that the boot is already bent to how I want it to be. And all I do is I take a permanent marker, and down the side of where the boots are overlapping, so down the side where the pins are, I mark with a Sharpie that's a silver color or a copper color or a gold color, or even a marking pencil that you have for sewing. I use that pencil or tool to pretty much mark, so I'm able to take the pins out when I want to, so I can mark the line from the top of the boot to the bottom of the boot of how thin I want it to be. After I do this to one boot and I keep the pins in, but I also have the markings on it, I take the other boot and I pretty much place them one on top of the other, and I feel for where the pins are. Here I am feeling for a pin that's below this shoe, and that's where I mark with the Sharpie, and I do this all the way to the bottom. Once I have the markings, I'm going to pin my boot together because I want to make sure that the edges of the boot are equal distance from where the stitch is going to be. I don't want the stitch to be lopsided when I put the shoe on. So this is the part where I asked my mother for help to help me stitch my shoe, and she absolutely agreed, which is absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Mom. She started off with the top of the boot and she did a couple forward stitches and back stitches, and the type of stitch that she used was a straight stitch. So using a straight stitch, she went all the way down to the bottom of the boot, following the markings that I left for her. She left a little extra room at the bottom because that's when she got to the heel, and that's when she realized that she can't use the machine anymore. She's going to have to stitch by hand. So the rest of the boot, maybe a couple of centimeters from where she stopped with the machine, she had to stitch by hand to go to the bottom of the shoe. So after she did one shoe, she gave that shoe to me to try on to see if the sizing is correct, and it was, so I didn't have to do a double measurement to fix the width or how narrow the shoe is. And then we just got into stitching the other shoe. What we didn't do actually was cut off the extra material. I'm thinking that using this extra material, in case that my legs do get bigger, I can probably take out the old stitch, I could take out the new stitch, and I could either make another stitch that's following my calf or my knee or my leg size, or if my leg gets big enough, I could just fit in the boot itself. So I'm just using this for multi-purpose, and it actually doesn't bug me at all, which is so nice. Right, let's just get into me showing you how the boots look on me now versus how they looked on me before. Have a good day, guys. Bye.